morning and welcome to Primary School News. I'm your host, Bill Board. There's been a mixed response to the news that most children won't be starting back to school until the beginning of April. Police are investigating the disappearance of a 9-year-old girl. She just vanished after using her grandmother's moisturising face cream, which promises to make you look 10 years younger. A Newtownards man has been left confused after a visit from the local police. They said they had reports of his dog chasing a man on a bike. He said it must be a mistake as his dog doesn't own a bike. Some consumer news now, and a lady has complained about a recent tradesman she employed to do some work in her house. She found an ad for a handyman in the Newtownards Chronicle. She left him a list with all the jobs to do in the house. But when she returned, she discovered he had only done numbers 1, 3, 5 and 7 on the list. When she challenged the man, he said he only does odd jobs. Some travel news now, and a man who took an airline to court after his luggage went missing has lost his case. We spoke to a lady who was excited to go on her first trip since lockdown began. She visited Iceland. Next week she says she hopes to go to Asda and Tesco. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Want to keep those teeth looking pearly white during lockdown? Use new Colgate. Twice a day, some vigorous brushing will leave you with the most beautiful results. Teeth that your friends will be jealous of. Is your hair starting to look a little thin on top? Good news! With the new Rapid Hair Growth Powder, simply mix the powder with some water, apply to the hair twice a day, and wait for the most amazing results.
Some health news now, and a lady has been admitted to hospital. She thought what she was eating was a small onion, but in actual fact it turned out to be a daffodil bulb. The doctor treating her said he expected her to be out sometime in the spring. Valentine's Day proved quite a challenge this year. For men who buy a bunch of flowers from the shop for you, life went on as normal. But for women who like to make an effort for the big day with hairdressers closed, getting that glamorous look proved challenging this year. Children are also finding home haircuts are not up to their usual standard. Now for the story of wee Alfie, a keen Charles from Armagh who's experiencing some grooming problems of his own.
Hello, it's wee Alfie here. Although you probably didn't even recognise me. Look at the cut of my hair. Did you ever see anything like it in your life? My mommy decided that she would order clippers on the eBay to do my hair, and this is the state that I've come out in. You'd think I had the mange. She said, Alfie, you need your hair cut badly. Well, mommy, that's exactly what you've done. I hope and pray that I don't meet wee Judy in the park because she'll be looking for another boyfriend. Some other dog that has lovely, nice, neat hair. Not like me. I look like I've been pulled through a hedge backways. Oh, Leanne, if you're listening to me, I hope you'll be able to do my hair soon because I can't stick this.
And they say it's a dog's life. Now for the weather, and with some quite stormy conditions recently, we're grateful for our intrepid weather reporters. We go first to Dublin to our reporter Shauna Shivering. Shauna, what's it like with you there today?
Don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't take risks on treacherous roads. And don't swim in the sea. Incredibly, people have been spotted in the water here in Blackrock and Salthill both today and yesterday.
Yikes! Now over to our Welsh reporter, Keris Codd.
I'm here at Barry Island Beach and there's no sign to stop.
Something quite fishy about that. Locally, and keep your umbrella close, as the forecast is for some sudden showers. Thank you for watching Primary School News. Now it's over to Glenn Johnston with a message just for the children. I wonder if anybody got any Valentine's Day cards this year, or maybe you sent some Valentine's Day cards, and quite often they'll have maybe somewhere on the card a big heart, and maybe you wrote a wee rhyme inside it. Roses are red, violets are blue, honey is sweet, and so are you. Well, I remember when I was in P6 in model primary school one year, I sent a Valentine's card to someone in my class. She was a girl that I really, really liked. Her name was Claire Young, and she was beautiful. And we were in the same class, and so this year on Valentine's Day, I got some card. I didn't buy a card because I didn't really have money to buy a card, so I made a card, and in the middle of it, I put a huge, big red heart and wrote on the middle of it, "To Claire, love from," and I left a question mark, but actually she knew it was from me. And on the day of Valentine's Day, I remember I set it at her desk in the classroom. I went a wee bit early, set it on the desk, I sat behind her, and then I watched and waited to see what would happen when she came in. She came in and she put her stuff down, and then she noticed on the desk the card, and she was quite embarrassed. She said, pull it aside underneath, and I put a big, big heart in the middle of it. And she looked at it, and then she showed it to her friend, and they sort of giggled a little bit and sniggered. And then she did this, right down the middle, ripped my card. Because she didn't really want it, because even though I liked her a lot, she didn't really like me very much, which I don't understand. But anyway, and you know what? That made me feel so sad. And it's as if when she ripped my card, she broke my heart. And that's really, really sad. And we all know what it's like if we're hurt on the outside. So if you're playing football and somebody hits you a kick, oh, you can feel the pain of that. Or someone maybe pushes you outside, or someone hits you. You know what it's like to feel hurt on the outside. But I wonder, do you know what it's like to feel hurt on the inside? In here. Maybe if somebody ignores you and doesn't include you, you can feel sometimes nearly like pain in here if they leave us out. Maybe if someone says something not very nice about us and talks behind their hands with some of their friends, it feels sore inside. Maybe if someone calls us a name, and it can feel that where our heart is, it's really, really, really sore. We feel that sort of pain and that hurt inside sometimes. Maybe you felt like that sometimes. There's lots of things that make us feel like that. And it's as if our hearts are broken. And as if we feel that pain inside when people say things or do things and they hurt us in that way. It breaks our heart. And we can feel that pain. Well, there's a verse that I was thinking of. It's a verse in the Bible. And this is what it says. It says, God heals the brokenhearted and he binds up their wounds. So, our hearts that can be broken, it's in the Bible, Psalm 147 verse 3, God heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Isn't that amazing what God can do? Our hearts that are broken, it's as if he makes it completely new again. He heals our broken hearts. And when Jesus was here, he spent his time helping lots of people. So someone that had been left out by everyone else and felt brokenhearted, Jesus would go and spend time with them. And he would heal their broken heart. And someone who maybe was quite ill with something, Jesus would heal them. And the brokenness inside, he would mend that. He would make it feel so much better. And one day when Jesus was here, somebody said to him, what's the most important thing I can do? And Jesus said, well, actually, there's two. First is this: love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. So love God with everything. And the second is like it: love your neighbour the way you love yourself. And the person answered back, how can I love my neighbour? And Jesus told a very famous story. It's called the parable of the Good Samaritan. And it was a story about a man going on a journey, and there were some bad people waiting for him, and he came round the corner and they jumped out and they stole his stuff and they beat him up and they left him really badly hurt on the road. And as he was lying there, this man walked past, a very important man, and he just turned his head away and wouldn't even look at him. And then another man walked past, again a very important man, and he just crossed to the other side and wouldn't go anywhere near him. And then a third man came along. The man who had been beaten up was a Jew, and the third man who came along was a Samaritan, and they didn't like each other at all. They were actually enemies. But the Samaritan saw him lying there. He went across, he got some water and he poured it on his cuts and his bruises, and he bound them up and he wrapped bandages on him, and he put him onto his horse, and he took him and made sure the man was looked after. He was the least of the people you would expect to help him, but he's the person that helped him. He was the good Samaritan who helped the man. And Jesus said to us, go and do likewise. That means, see the people that we love and care for, help them. Even the people that maybe we don't get on with, help them as well. And here's two things to remember. First is this: sometimes when we feel sad and lonely and as if we've got that pain in there and we feel a wee bit broken, the beautiful truth is that God can heal our broken hearts when we ask him, when we speak to him, and we think about his love for us. But the second thing is we must go and help other people as well, the same way the Samaritan did. We can help people by not leaving them out, by not saying things that will hurt them, talking behind their hands, by not calling them names, but by including them. And maybe as we do that, the hurt that people feel, we can help make that better again. So as you think about these things, as you think about this heart that came back and was restored again, think about a God who heals our broken hearts and loves us so much and would never hurt us, and think about how we can help other people as well. Have a great day. God bless.